From Kansas City, where hockey talk gets real, this is Steve and the Blue Line.
So, Steve, are we being lied to right now? The standings say these teams are in the race, but they're not really built, built for the playoffs. And I'm talking about like teams like Islanders, Red Wings, Capitals. They're all hanging around, but do people actually believe they're going to make it?
You know what? I mean, the Islanders are on a little roll. I think they got a shot at it. You know what? Them teams, it depends what they do towards the end of the year. Detroit was kind of falling off. They won last night. Every time you lose, you have the Sharks in the same situation. They're right on the bubble where they can, but
Sharks have been looking good though.
They have, but they just got beat by Edmonton. Edmonton's tough. But right now you got to beat the tough teams. I think they got Buffalo coming up. It's going to be a tough game, but them are games you got to win, especially right now being so close to the playoffs. It's playoff hockey before we even get to the playoffs. Every game is critical.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So,
you can see that in the physicality of the game, I think.
Oh, 100%. Everybody's getting the shit kicked out of them. I mean, if you've been watching hockey this year, I mean, it's physical.
Very physical.
Very physical.
Yeah. I don't, there was talk about how, because the league's getting younger, we talked about that in the past episode.
Right.
And, I think that these young guys are, I think bringing it, not necessarily the physicality completely, but the agitation to cause some of these older dudes to be like, you little motherfucker.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's part of the game.
Right.
Agitating people.
Right.
Penalties.
But there's just so many of them. I mean, the Blues have how many young guys?
Oh, well, the Blues, I think, we were looking at the youngest teams, and the Blues were number 3 on the youngest teams out this year. So the Blackhawks. There's 3 Canadian teams in
seven. Yep.
I mean, there's a lot
in the top 7. That was right.
25 years old is the youngest age. 25.1 years, and that was in Chicago. Second was like
25.9.
26.
Yeah, 25.9.
So
and then went to 26, but I don't think it went above 26 or 7.
Yeah.
That was the top 7.
The Sharks were 7 at like 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you know what? The Blues, but the Blues weren't on there.
Yeah, the Blues were.
Were they on
3?
Okay.
They were number 3.
All right.
But I'm just surprised that it's 26 or 27. I really thought it would be younger than that, actually. But everybody has their older players, their locker room players. Everybody, you got to have them guys on the team to help the youth.
Right. Exactly. So with those teams, with it being playoffs and teams like the Red Wings, Capitals that we were mentioning, do you think that, a lot of people don't have faith in them to make it? And do you think it's because they have trouble controlling the game, or?
I mean, you know what? Hey, if you're a fan of them, you always have faith. I mean, me personally from the outside, I mean, you know what? It just depends who.
Islanders
are on a roll.
Yeah.
You know what? I think personally right now, I think they get in. Detroit's right there on the bubble. You know what? You just don't know what teams are going to catch fire.
Yeah. I forgot, where were the Capitals at?
Capitals are on the border too, but I think they're more downwards than upwards, and they're one of the older teams in the league. But I don't know, as far as teams that are in the playoffs and their youth. I don't know, what was it saying? The youngest team, Montreal, was one of the youngest teams that's making it in the playoffs. So I don't know if it's all youth or what you need to get in there.
Right. Actually, I've got that right here, that the ages. So we had Chicago Blackhawks were the youngest at 25.13.
Okay.
Montreal.
There you go.
25.92.
Okay.
Correct. Number 3, St. Louis Blues.
There you go.
26.48.
Okay. And only going to get younger. They traded off Shen.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Falk.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of.
Yeah, they're clearly.
They are going for youngsters, and they're gonna grow up and they're rebuilding.
Right. That's what I was saying. They're clearly in the younger rebuilding, and they're doing a damn good job of it.
Yeah. Obviously.
So Vancouver, 26.48 as well. Those are both St. Louis and Vancouver tied.
Right. Okay.
Calgary Flames, another Canadian, 26.66. Buffalo Sabres, 27.07.
As it looks like right now.
For sure. They're killing it.
I mean, they're killing it. They're. I think they've won 9 or 10.
Burley's just got to be
Yeah.
static.
I'm sure he's thrilled.
And then so we got Burley, then we got Stiegel, St. Louis or San Jose Sharks.
Oh yeah, they play. In fact, Buffalo plays
27.07 and 27.08, pretty much the same. So that's
yeah. Okay, and they play each other. They're about the same age. Buffalo and San Jose.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And they play each other. I think just in a day or two.
San Jose or the Sabres have a 1 inch. Because all the teams are average height is 6'1" or 6'2".
Wow.
And
That's the average height that's 6'1" in hockey.
no, well, on these 7 teams,
Oh, okay.
6'1", 6'1", and 6'2".
Wow.
So it's almost,
I'm sure
it's almost
that all
split
through the league. I would imagine if everybody's about 6'1", 6'2". Wow.
Yeah, if they're
Okay. Well,
or maybe that's why they're all fucking killing it.
Almost 6'1". So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the average size.
I am too, but like 5 inches shorter than that,
Oh, okay.
or whatever, 5'8". So anyway, those are interesting facts.
Okay. Yeah, that is very interesting.
And so it says right here too, also players. So number of players on the team. So for instance, Sabres have 30 and Blackhawks have 23.
30 what?
It says players.
Oh, and the Blackhawks have 23 players.
So 23, 25, 25, 25, 29, 30, 26.
Interesting.
Do you know?
They don't make good use of their salary cap.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe that's something you should look up.
Yeah,
Interesting.
check that out.
Very
Because
you would think every team it would be allotted a certain amount of players.
and why would you not have all those players? But I guess you're right. I mean, if you're like shit, we don't need those extras.
Yeah. You don't need them. I guess so. That's what you call
Where those two teams use.
a healthy.
Well, so like, why does Chicago Blackhawks have 23 players listed according to this, and the Buffalo Sabres have 30?
I mean, maybe people are on injured reserve,
That could be.
so they're able to bring.
Well, but they're not.
Up, maybe I don't know. That would be one reason.
But why would you not have those filled? Trade deadlines happened, right? I mean, like you think if you're going to fill shit, you don't want. I mean, especially right now, you want people to at least somewhat gel before playoffs kick off.
Like maybe it's at 25, and these teams have more because they've had people. Their people are hurt or whatever, so they got to bring people in to replace them. So now you got, and that's why I'm saying when you get to the playoffs, when you get these people back, you're good to have them back.
Gotcha.
As long as they're out for a certain amount of games up until the playoffs.
And it's either what you said or what Todd said, I would imagine. It's either the salary cap or...
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Todd will have that answer for us shortly.
So who's the team everyone thinks is legit but isn't?
Legit that isn't. Well,
In your Stiegel opinion.
I'd like to say Dallas is on complete fire. But and you know what? They might be a Stanley Cup champion. Maybe it's Tampa Bay. I don't know. But they just won last night.
What do you think about?
I'm going to call out Minnesota on this one.
Are you? Not Detroit?
No, I'm about Minnesota's on top of their league, but I don't think they should be. I think they might have won last night. I can't remember. But I don't know. They've never really impressed me. They're not playing great hockey at the moment. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. I don't know. They won the other night, but that's my team. I think that's just...
So you can have 23 players per any given game, but that includes your IR up to 30 with your IR and your LTIR and...
So you can have up to 30 players with you
on your roster, basically.
Plus everyone under contract available to be used. So it's saying 23 who can play tonight.
Right. So you can have healthy scratches. Yeah. You can have 7 healthy scratches. That's where your fighters come in.
Right.
So you can have 23 play. So you got to sit somebody else to get
somebody
scratch.
Right.
So you only play your fighter. That makes sense. Okay. Very interesting. So that's why there's healthy scratches, because you can only play 23 a night, but you can have up to...
So the next night, somebody could flip around.
Right. But
you can only play 23, but you can have pretty much up to 30 plus on your roster.
Right.
Okay, so
You can have 30 plus or 30. There's got to be a cutoff.
It says 30 plus. but
No shit. That seems stupid.
equals- but that equals everyone under contract and available.
you don't want everybody on your contract, so they're going to keep
All right,
that down to
sure.
a minimum because
Right.
you got to keep your so wow, but that's still interesting.
Yeah.
So that's where your IR and your healthy scratches, your fighters go. And then when there's a brutal game, they sit their worst player,
Right.
player they might need and bring in the fighter to take care of business.
Sure. Maybe we need 2 fighters out there tonight. And,
Yeah, might get a little rough.
you know, shit, things have been getting crazy.
Yeah, really.
So, okay. So, right now, who would you trust more in game 7, Detroit or Washington?
I have to take the Red Wings on that one. Washington they're too iffy. They're too iffy. Either they win or they just get their butts kicked. I mean, the other night they went out and stopped Buffalo's win streak. Went Buffalo's on an 8 or 9 game heater, and Washington stepped in out of nowhere and beat them. But then the next day they might get beat 6-1. You know, I mean, that's just kind of what Washington's doing. And I think Detroit is just kind of more of a solid team. They can get their way, find a little fires. They got a good enough team that they can find a little fire and roll with it through the playoffs.
Right. And then as far as like wild card teams, you know, who gets swept in round 1?
Who gets swept in round 1? Well, it depends who makes the wild card because we still got 13 games to go. And a lot of
What's it looking like? What's
action, bud?
There is a lot of action right now. What's it looking like?
The Sharks are only down. If they win the next game, which they have a game in hand, they're right back in the number 2 spot in the wild card. So it looks like Utah is going to make it. I think Utah is a good team. They just won. Who did they just beat? I can't think who it was. But regardless, Utah is good. Detroit's hanging on, man, by a thread. They're 1 point ahead of Columbus, but Columbus has a game in hand. So Columbus wins. Now Columbus is shit. They're number 1 in the wild card race and might even catch the Rangers. I mean, it's so tight right now.
It's hard
so
to
tight you can't even predict who's going to be in the wild card.
Right.
So I mean, the question can't be answered because we don't know.
Sure. Well, then is there any like bubble teams that could actually upset a top seed?
I mean, you got Ottawa. Ottawa's playing good hockey, 7-1-2 in their last 10. I mean,
all right. What's their overall?
Their overall, they're only 4 points back.
Okay.
5 points back of I mean, that's only a couple 3 wins.
Sure.
And we've got 2 games in hand. So you give them a couple more wins, and all of a sudden
What do you mean 2? They've got 2 games in hand.
2 games in hand. They played 66 games. The 2 in the wild card have played 68.
Okay.
So they got 2 games in hand, meaning they can pick up 4 points with 2 wins.
Yeah.
So you know.
So
The old Mallet, they beat the Stars 6-3.
I mean, there you go. That's handed their Stars, I think, their second loss in a row, and that's I mean, you just beat a damn good team. So just telling you, they're playing good hockey.
Okay.
So you got a lot of teams on the border. That's man, it just looks like the East is outplaying looks like the Central Conference is outplaying the Pacific right now. I mean, it's just LA, they're playing 5-4-1 hockey, Sharks 5-3-2 hockey, Nashville 4-4-2 hockey. And these are teams that are fighting to make the playoffs. You gotta be playing better hockey than that.
Right. Now, out of the divisions right now, who's the strongest?
I would say definitely in the Western Conference, it's obviously the Central. You got Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. But Colorado's lost 2 in a row. Dallas just lost. I mean, your strongest division, hands down, I think playing right now is your is that
Right, for sure. Western.
I mean, by looking at it, I mean, yeah.
And now looking at that, is there any the lowest? What's the shittiest conference right now?
Is the Pacific?
It's Pacific.
It is.
Yep. And so out of that, do you think that say number 3 seed would even be in playoff contention if they were in the West?
Let's get back to that question. I'm sorry, because I'm going to go back to some here. Anaheim, who is number 1 in their division, is at a -10 goal differential. They've been outscored by 10 goals, and they still lead their division, the Pacific.
Right.
So
So
as I'm looking through this, no other team.
so number 3.
No
What
other
are they?
team who leads their division is at a negative goal differential.
Right. Exactly.
So that's how bad the Pacific is.
Exactly. So
Anaheim is
so do
being
you
outscored
think
and they still lead their division?
do you think number 2 or 3 seed in Pacific would even be a contender in the West or East?
Would it be a contender in the Central? Would any team in the Pacific be a contender for the? I mean, I don't think so. I
Like
don't
based
think-
on their
but you know what? Edmonton can't catch fire. Vegas, they're playing bad hockey right now. 3-7.
Yeah, they just got beat last night,
They
didn't they?
got beat by Buffalo.
Yeah, well, Buffalo's solid.
Buffalo's solid, but still, you're looking at 3-7-0 hockey, and you're falling back. So regardless, you just got some teams. It's not the Pacific. Pacific's not a contender this year. Central's taking it, and it's going to be a hell of a Stanley Cup. Whoever they get, Buffalo's catching fire right now.
They are.
Carolina's a good team. I mean, any of these teams. Look at the Islanders. They are now leading their division with their win last night. They are 7-3. They are now out of the wild card into the Metropolitan.
Well, and that's funny because it is. So my next question for you.
We're talking about.
Well, my next question is, are the Islanders built for playoff hockey
Okay, there's your.
or just built to survive regular season?
Well,
And well, it's looking like playoff hockey.
Well, they're 7-3 and just moved into the number 3 spot.
Yeah.
So there's your answer.
Yeah.
To that, as we just.
Right. I mean, that's in
That's hey,
Just 2
what it
days.
takes.
right.
13 games left.
That's how many?
Yeah. 13
besides-
15.
Right.
depending on
Kind of
where
the other
you're
2 in the end.
at. Yeah.
Okay. So which team in the race is one injury away from, completely collapsing?
Well, you got. You need all your star players right now. You need all your star players, whoever it may be. I mean, you don't want to see McKinnon. Obviously, McKinnon, if something happened to him, that would destroy Colorado. I think that's your answer right there. But obviously, you got star players out there. If you're in the race right now, any star player gets hurt, you're in trouble.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like if
But Colorado, oof, that'd be
like right now,
Nathan McKinnon's a stud, and if you lose him, that would definitely hurt your team. He's an all-around great player.
right. Yeah. Cause I mean, that kind of is like the Leafs. I mean, if they were contenders,
Oh, if they were contenders,
they'd be in it'd be an even
they'd
shittier
be a
situation.
real shitty situation.
Yeah. Cause I mean, so you take your best player out
Yeah,
and
you gotta have
it's
right now injuries. So with everything that's going on, injuries are critical. So hopefully Russ are catching everything. You saw the Celebrini hit. I didn't catch it. That was a straight shoulder to the head.
It
So,
was.
you got to keep your eyes open because, man, right now is not the time you want to lose your star player.
Right. Well, I mean, and speaking of that, I mean, so like, what do you think about the Godot,
Oh,
that whole incident? I mean, the knee incident that would end up,
Gaddis.
Gaddis is, I think it's Godot, isn't it?
Oh, man. Gaddis.
Gaddis?
Gaddis.
Todd.
Come on, man.
Gaddis.
No, man. Yeah, two.
So whoever, that dude with the knee, the mean guy,
We're talking about.
he's the captain of,
Took out Austin Matthews, man. He's the captain of the Anaheim Ducks.
exactly. And
For
he just
sure.
took out Matthews, who is the
He's
captain.
man. He's
Right. He's the
stud. He
captain
played
of,
for
well, he's the
Americans.
captain too.
Played for the Americans. He's
Right.
a stud.
Played for the Americans. We like that.
That was a bad deal. And, going back to that, you got a guy who got a phone call, which for those
Which
who
is-
don't know, a phone call, if you get a phone call when you had a bad play and you're looking at it, you cause an injury, every injury gets reviewed. If you get a phone call and you're the guy who hurt the guy, that's a great sign. It's only going to be a 5-game suspension. If they ask you to come in, you're looking at a bigger suspension. Todd, do you have something?
Radko Gudis.
Radko
Gudis.
Boom. I was on it.
I think
Radko Gudis.
I just threw in there now.
It's
I made him Spanish.
Hey, people, the hockey names are the most difficult.
They are difficult.
You are forgetting.
So he's been known. So here we are. We've got
I know.
a star player
Yeah.
that's
It's a big
captain
deal.
that gets his knee mangled.
Yeah.
I mean, blowing out.
Tear 3.
I think we even have a picture of that.
It's a tear. It's a tear.
It was a tear, and then his quad.
It's a grade 3 MCL tear, which is a complete tear.
Yeah, right here.
There you go. You see how he's putting force on his right skate. He is putting his pressure, and his knee is out.
Extended.
And go to frame 3. Frame 3. There you go. Boom. That's where he gets the leg, and Austin Matthews has his leg planted down, so his leg just completely goes all the way around and tears everything. Yes, we're Todd circling. It tears everything around it.
Yeah, it's
just
some kind
a
of hand.
bad
Yeah.
hit. So this has happened more than once. He did it to Sidney Crosby
Yep.
in the cup games, and sent Crosby home for the year.
Yeah, I mean, Crosby said he's still
against the USA.
Yep.
So, it's not his first time, but the thing is, there's a committee that we learned about. There's a committee that goes over this, and the head committee guy,
player safety or something.
Player safety, yes. And the head guy of player safety was an enforcer himself back in the day.
Right.
And I can't think of his name.
So you have an enforcer back in the day who used to, get penalties. He's an enforcer, right? Exactly. And now he's the one it's kind of like having the, fox watch the hen house, I guess.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I listened to as they interviewed him, and they usually don't do interviews after stuff like that happens, but he did an interview, and he seems like a pretty interesting character. So I don't know. But it was a dirty hit, obviously. And
George Paris.
George Paris. So he used to be an enforcer. He was in the league for like 10 years, I think. Played for the Ducks, a couple other teams.
And who was it before him? Or let me ask you this: was Brett Hall ever? He was. Okay.
So, but regardless, it's a 5-game suspension,
which a lot of people have a problem with.
Well, I mean, you just took out an all-star.
Exactly.
That hurts.
Exactly.
It's a complete tear. That's
right.
Grade 3 MCL tear. So
exactly. It is. I mean, he may lose, may not ever be exactly the same. I mean, he will have some issues.
That's
Brett Hall was never in charge of player safety.
Who was
Brendan Shanahan.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Before him was
Brendan.
Vaughn Quintal.
Okay, well, Brendan Shanahan. So whenever he was doing it, and he would actually, after he gave the suspension, he would go out and let the fans know exactly why.
Right.
Here's what was taken into consideration. Here's this. Well, this new way, they're just like, none of your business.
What's cool is that they're mostly players that are on the.
I like that.
I love it.
And I don't mind them being an enforcer in the past. That may even make more sense.
Maybe.
But I think that they should be held accountable to at least give a reasoning, especially in today's. Okay, when Shanahan was doing it, it wasn't near
from 11 to 14.
Right. So 11, 14. So there was still lots of social media and all that shit out there. So about the same. But I mean, in today's world, I mean, he could hop on X or Twitter or whatever, and simple deal. But he doesn't.
Interview, but it didn't really.
I don't know.
It didn't really make sense.
And I think that was forced on him. Because everybody was somebody was
Judas is his buddy, or I don't know what's going on.
But
it seemed like a pretty shitty deal.
Yeah, not quite how it should have been.
Should have been, and Anaheim's in the race, and that's not a very bad. He's one of their tough. He's their captain, like he said. He's their captain.
Now, do you
get a 5-gamer, man?
Who was the guy on the Sharks the other night that got just smashed?
That was one of our young guys.
Man, he was out of it. He couldn't get up on a stage. I mean, it was kind of
scary.
Yes, scary. Because he kept trying to get up, and he was fished out and fall down. And
he was on his face, dragging along the ice on his knees, just dragging.
Yeah,
crazy scary. But he ended up getting up and being okay. Well, he tried getting up there.
Right. No, he fell down. He never was okay. They carried him out. They helped him off.
They had to help him off.
Yeah.
That was man. It's
and actually, I don't even know what the final, because there's no way he did. There's no way they would let him come back out and play.
No, that's.
I mean, right. So he's exactly.
You're falling over.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all.
I mean, multiple times, and then he was bleeding real bad too. But I don't know. I don't know if it was
Igor Cherntsov.
Yeah. Let's not even try.
Cherntsov.
Yeah, that's
looks like he took, but they're not sure if he took
a young guy from St. Jose,
right? that I think took I'm not sure if he took the stick to the head, because he was bleeding pretty good, and I don't think just falling forward like that.
A hell of a hit. Right now, NHL, like I said, we're in the playoff run, and it's vicious.
Yeah,
people are getting hit. It's. If you guys haven't tuned in, now's the time
for sure.
Watching it's great hockey.
Well, this year's just even
Yeah,
been
this whole year.
yeah.
And it's only getting better. It's only getting tougher, and it's just getting to that time.
Right. Now, would you rather have your team deliver the big hit early or avoid it completely?
You got to go after them right out of the gate.
I agree.
You
Like
gotta
the other
set
night,
the tempo.
who was it? Actually, the Leafs, same game with the knee injury. Whoever they just drafted.
The Leafs. That was that when the Edmonton? Oh, you mean the game when
With Gudis, with Gudis, about had you, with Gudis,
Yeah.
and then Matthews, that same game, right off the get, whoever they just picked up in the trade,
Yeah.
they picked up an
came
enforcer.
out early.
That guy stepped out, whooped ass, but then nobody did anything after Matthews got smashed.
Yeah, that was.
And
I
so,
don't get that. I don't.
I mean,
get
no,
that.
there was no repercussion. It's crazy. Like you would have thought that they would have tackled Gudis.
Well, the guy came out early just to show him, hey guys, I'm here. And then Austin Matthews takes one of those, and then, hey bud, where you at? Where'd you
Right.
go?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
So I don't know what happened there.
I don't think there's much love in the locker room, is my opinion.
And maybe
And my opinion is
maybe
good.
Austin Matthews goes somewhere else because
Yeah,
he's
he's
a bad year.
Yep.
And now you got guys who aren't even sticking up for
Right. And you're the captain.
One of the dirtiest hits I've
Right.
seen all
And you're the captain and you're a star.
See that?
Oh, yeah. So bad news. So which current contender is playing too aggressive to survive the playoff series?
Nobody can ever play too aggressive. I love aggressiveness. Rubber,
Sure.
it's
Well, that's true. But now you got
too
like,
aggressive.
but now you got
I
like,
don't see anybody playing too aggressive.
well, Gudis just played too aggressive.
Well, I wouldn't call that aggressive. I call that dirty. There's a difference. Aggressive is, hey, rough and tough. Hey, I mean, he might have hit you a little harder than usual. That's aggressive, brother. That wasn't aggressive. That was dirty. That was meant to harm. You know what? Hey, aggressive might be meaning to harm, but in a part of the game that's clean. You know what? Hey, you got a little extra energy in it. Give him that hit.
Right.
You know what? That's aggressive. Going after that puff a little extra. Hey, sometimes it might cost you. That's just part of the game. I mean, that's it. That's just part of the, hey, does it work? Does it not work? Being aggressive, I think, is a great part of winning games. I think that's better than being laid back and playing soft and
Right. Sure.
Now, you know what? Be aggressive. Be on your toes. I think that's the answer to that.
Okay.
I think there is no team that's going to play too aggressive. Everybody, the more aggressive you play, I think the more you win. That's my personal.
The more
opinion.
aggressive you play, the more you win.
Yes.
I like it.
Well,
Hey, you know what? It's aggressive hockey
makes sense,
is
right.
the aggressive hockey is
We've seen
way more fun. Well,
We've seen it.
it's fun to watch. I wouldn't say it's way more fun to watch because, man, this stick control lately has been sickening. I mean, who's that guy from the Sharks the other night that ends up taking it around, flipping it over, falling, baseball batting it into the
Yep,
almost
look
like
it up.
lacrosse throw or whatever.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
If you've
Definitely.
not seen it, look it up. Matthias Eklund.
Yeah, Eklund. That's right. Or yeah, something like that.
I've
It
seen
begins with an E. It's the Eklund.
It's Eklund.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, that guy
Hell of a goal.
probably going to be, or
Maybe the goal of the year. If you have
there you have it. Probably good chance of goal of the year.
look it up. Eklund goal.
absolutely.
Hell of a goal. You'll find it. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah. So now let's go down to Florida for a second. And so now like Lightning, they're still up there.
Yeah.
But would you say that they're playing playoff hockey?
Well, not right at the moment. I think they've won. They did win the other night, but before that they were 3-7. Oh, but they got the players. They can turn it around. But that's something they need to do. You got 13 to 15 games left, depending. Something you want to do within the next,
Tonight.
year. So let's get it together, boys.
Right.
We're going in the playoffs.
You got a good
You
seat.
got a nice little lead. You got a good seat. Now let's wrap it up. Let's
Yeah.
at least play 60, 70% win hockey.
All right. So which team benefits the most from a physical series right now?
Whew, let's look at it, man. It's a good question. Physicality, man, Carolina's tough. Colorado, Dallas, man. When it comes to physicality, you got a lot of finesse in the top, but I'd say Carolina benefits. They're the toughest team around right now, I think.
Carolina.
I really think from physicality, I think so. Pittsburgh, you got an older team. Islanders are, man, I don't know. That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I myself personally would say Carolina. They're the most physical going into this thing.
Okay.
Others might disagree.
I like that.
But
I mean,
you know what? That's something to maybe look up for another episode.
yeah,
I said Carolina.
we'll check back on that.
Yeah, we'll check back on that. I'm going with Carolina.
All right, Steve. So let's transition over into some betting talk. And we're going to lead off with, right now, it's probably the biggest gambling month or week of the year ever and everywhere. I think every office now currently has a pool going on. And what I'm talking about is March Madness.
Yes, March Madness.
I mean, Todd, how many people actually, does it say how many people participate in bracket? There's got to be some
60 million, 100 million.
60 to 100 million in the
That's
US.
20 to 30% of US adults.
20 to 30%
of U.S. adults participate.
It's the most participated in event in
Wow.
the country.
Wow.
It's the what?
One of the most participated in events in the country.
No
Not
shit.
just watch.
That shows how many closet gamblers there are.
Well, and you know what?
Right?
It tells me what we need to do. We need to have some gambling.
Something, right? Holy shit.
5 people.
We're like, dude, I just want $1 from all of
Fill
them.
out a bracket.
I mean, yeah, just
Just 50 cents from, I'd rather, I know, I'd rather have $1.
I mean, well, it would work, but I mean, I'm thinking I'd take a penny too on all 100 million.
Well,
Wow.
so are you participating in any brackets?
Yeah, in fact, we have a blue line bracket that we put out, and so if you know people who know me, we spread it through the bar, and so yeah, we have a bunch of people in a bracket so yeah, I already know there's a bunch of people, including me. I'm in 2 of them.
Right. A lot of people are in more than one. I wonder, so that doesn't include how many people are in multiple brackets.
Oh yeah.
So you said 60 to 100 million people.
Right. We're talking them people.
Right.
Playing, they play
Fuck, there's some people that have 5 of
play
them.
up to 10 brackets on all these sites, on a lot of them, like DraftKings or whatever. You can play up to 10 brackets.
Well, if they set a limit at 10,
Yeah,
that means that people are doing 10,
100 million people.
right? Say
You know,
1% of them do
at
10.
least they're playing. All the guys in my pot are at least playing 2.
60 to 70% play multiple brackets.
Holy shit.
60 to 70%.
So in reality,
So you're looking at, let's say, it went from 100 million
to 170.
30 to 40 only play one bracket. 30.
yeah. So about 170 million actual
Right.
bets,
are being
brackets.
Oh,
Yeah.
School players 3 to 5 brackets. Casual users 2 to 3 brackets. And
Casual 2 to 3.
I'm that casual guy, really. I fall in casual. I don't.
That's
do the
weird.
thing,
Right. Well, but bracket, but see, bracket is, I mean, no offense. I don't do brackets. I don't have attention span for it, but
Yeah.
it's, to me, it's definitely,
It's hard this year.
it is hard,
Hard this year.
but I would call it,
I mean,
what'd you
this
do?
is one-
I had AI.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Right now, I would say that this year is the first year of,
Wow.
I would,
AI
oh,
freaking
for
did
everybody's. I would say this year is the AI bracket,
it.
really.
Oh my
Because
God.
most of these fucking people have at least
I can't believe
one.
it. I can't believe
You didn't do
AI
that?
has moved into
What do you
the
mean?
bracket challenge.
Oh,
So now,
what do
are
you
you
mean?
telling me we're gonna have 100 million people picking the same thing?
No.
it's not.
So how does AI know so much if it's telling people different freaking picks?
Well, dude.
Now we're coming to
Yeah.
what is going on over here? Is AI just throwing
Well, we're gonna find
everybody
out.
for a loop-de-doop, and then
Well,
the
which
guy that
AI?
says,
Which
I
AI?
hate it.
Which AI?
I hate it. Well, how about the other fucking?
Well,
160
here's the deal.
million people?
You know what? I have an answer for you on part of it. So it all comes down to how good you did the prompt. And
prompt, who
and
are
so-
your teams, Who
and
do
and
you
all
like to
this
play
and
with?
right and
Does
which
it ask you who do you want?
well, you ask it. You ask it.
Well,
So you're coming up with a prompt to it. So if your prompt is like, well, just put me a bracket, your bracket's probably gonna suck. If you're like, here's what I want all the teams that have people 6'7" that are
oh,
centers,
shit.
and you give it a breakdown.
God damn.
Now you got a really
Well, I
in-depth thought
I
out.
That's what AI did was gave.
It only
breakdowns
gives
on how good players
you
are.
an answer to what
Like,
you ask.
Matchup per matchup, who is going to walk their way through the tournament? That's what AI.
You
should
could,
fucking do.
you could, well,
Hey, you know what? If it comes down to stats and players on players, and if this
Well-
happens and the probability of it, the thing is, AI just isn't to that step where it can tell you exactly what's going to happen.
It won a guy $600 million on the lottery.
Yeah. Like I said, how many people play that son of a bitch?
I don't know.
Probably a lot.
Oh, you know what? Everybody's fucking playing AI. But
His AI likes him. So him and his AI
hey,
have a relationship.
and that's-
They
that's it.
get along
They know
better.
their numbers. He picked up
Yeah.
whatever. But here's the deal: he's not the only guy who has AI for his numbers.
Well, no.
That's the thing with this. Listen, that's what I'm telling you. You got so many people using AI. Listen to you guys, and you're gonna have one guy hit who wins the most. He used AI. Well, goddamn, if you got 70% out here using AI, well, I'd hope one of you are the ones that win. You know, the odds are in your favor.
Well, sure.
Not in the guy who actually took the time to pick his favorite.
Were you one of those guys?
Maybe.
Yeah.
If I got a pencil and a little, it's like the Keno, you know what? I dot my, if I ever play it, that's just, I don't know. I guess I'm old school. I barely know how to work shit on my phone, but whatever.
Well, I'd be interested to know. I bet. Do they have? I'm sure they have some kind of $1 million challenge that's somewhat public.
I'm sure.
We should
I
find.
don't even, you know what? I don't even get into that.
I'd be interested to know though if that winner is, comes out and is like, oh yeah, because on one of those,
Right.
on one of
In
those.
the first round, maybe pick the first round and the rest of them, just close your eyes and start it.
Well, that's true. Well, I mean, yeah, nobody can predict what's going on with every one of these people. I mean, for the way college ball's been going, there's at least a handful of them that are throwing games,
Nobody knows.
right? I mean, isn't that the new thing? They all do shit so that they can win prop bets,
You can bet on online Madden.
right? Well, how many college players got in trouble for participating and helping their buddies win referees? So yeah, AI can't predict that.
Coaches doing gambling.
So who are your? I don't want to hear your.
Not my pick. Okay.
I don't want.
Solo picks. Here's the deal. You're not going to hear no parlays. You're not going to.
Well, no, I want to hear real quick. I want to
You're not
hear.
going to hear player props.
I want to hear real quick, just a quick overview of what your bracket is. Who do you have?
I can't tell you because I'm in a bracket challenge. I don't want people
I know.
calling out. Yes, I can't.
Okay.
Tell
So you am I?
I'm going to tell you who my bets are though.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Thursday night, I got a winner. Its name is South Florida. They play Louisville. The guys at the bar. You guys know who you are. I've already told you. But if you want a winner, it's South Florida. The spread's going from 5.5 to 4.5. So the people already agree. South Florida's on a roll. Louisville's playing half-ass basketball. Like I said, it's how you play going into the playoffs, and this is what these guys are doing. So South Florida, you can even money line. If you got some cojones on it, go and money line them if you like that money. Then you got Friday action, and I'm going with the big underdog here. We're going with the Cal Baptist.
Who?
Playing KU getting 14.5.
Going with who?
Cal Baptist.
Calabaptist?
It's California Baptist.
Okay.
It's Cal for short.
Yeah, Cal.
When you say California, you don't call them. It's Cal.
Yeah.
I
guess.
This is Cal Baptist. They play Kansas. They're getting 14.5. KU.
What do you take?
I know you're a KU fan and you're going to disagree.
No,
buddy.
you take the money on them.
No, absolutely not. I'll take all 14.5.
All those points.
Because if you haven't learned to double team Peterson, whatever the hell his name is, if you haven't learned to double team their best guy by the last game, that Houston double teamed him, you see Kansas doesn't have anybody else if you play decent defense around. You double team their best player, it takes him out of the game, and like I said, you saw Houston just lay the wood last. You ain't say it. Well, then what happened after that? Then you saw Arizona put the wood down on Houston. So I mean, who's good and who isn't?
Yeah, on Arizona.
I know, but who's good and who isn't good? To me, that shows me that KU got beat by 20. Then Arizona turned around and beat that team who beat them by 20. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just letting you know, KU's way back in the back of the line.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm an MU guy. They're way back in the back of. They're probably even further back.
Yeah, local teams aren't.
I believe they did beat KU in basketball this year. I hate to say it, but
MU.
well, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it, but I hate to say it for you to hear it. Thank you. My bet Friday, Cal Baptist.
Cal Baptist.
Go ahead and buy another 1.5. Take her to 16.
Buy a 1.5. Take her to 16. Steve says.
Spread that ever hits.
No sweat for the floor.
No sweat will hit the floor.
None.
Okay.
All right. So Cal Baptist. So it is.
Baptist, South Florida.
South
If this
Florida.
thing gets out in time. You guys watch it in time.
Yep. You know what?
South Florida.
There's a good chance it
You're
will.
gonna know.
Better watch it
You're gonna
early.
know.
All right. So that's that for your basketball.
Basketball. Now what's the
Well, we're going to talk about some hockey. This is what we talk
still
about.
hockey?
Well, yeah, betting.
I thought we were. Oh, okay. Oh, hockey.
Would you? Yes. Would you bet? Well, let me start off for you. Would you bet Edmonton right now?
Well, Edmonton just beat the Sharks. They're playing damn good hockey. I would. I don't know who they play next. Kind of caught me off guard there, but
yes.
I will look. Let's see, since this thing won't come out till Thursday or Friday. I would say your best bet on the board would be at not giving up a bunch of money would be your Nashville Predators over Seattle.
Okay.
Only because Seattle isn't playing very good hockey. They're on the road. Predators are actually playing decent hockey. You also got Buffalo playing the Sharks. I hate to go against my Sharks. Buffalo's only 142.
But like you said, there's no favorite team in betting.
And you know what? It's tough for me to take underdogs, although I would rather you take underdogs. If you got to take an underdog.
Take the Sharks.
No.
I would do not take the Sharks.
Flyers over the Kings.
Flyers over the Kings. Okay.
Flyers over the Kings. It's just something that pops up. But you know what? Not considering that, we have the Lightning and Canucks playing. What did I tell you in previous episode? The Canucks are at home. What do? Not only do they get beat, but they give up 6 goals.
Yeah.
There's your overs. It's at 6.5. It's set high for a reason. 6.5 Lightning Canucks.
And you're still going over. You're saying
I'm
7
over.
points or more.
I'm over 7.5.
You're not buying any points.
It's 6-2 is at least going to be your final. I told you they give up 6 goals and they might score 2. They're at least going to score 1.
Right.
Or they're going to give up 7.
Yeah. Shit,
But
they
it's
might
going
give up.
over. It's going over 6.
Might be 8-0.
So Thursday, if you're not rich off of the Lightning over and the South Florida over, that's your own fault. There you go.
There we have it. So now, are defensive teams more valuable than offensive teams to you during the playoffs?
I love offense. Who doesn't like 8 to 7 games?
Well, I agree, but I mean,
So let's go offense.
okay. So
I mean,
because you like it is why you're betting it.
1-0 game, then hey, go play defense. You know what? 1-1, or what? 1-1, 1-0.
Well, I mean, nobody likes that,
I
Steve.
mean, 1-1.
Nobody likes that. Listen,
Well, that's what I'm saying,
but
that's
you're
what
not
the game
understanding.
is.
Well, but
The
when you're
defensive
looking,
game is no scoring.
I get it. But when you're looking at that game, would you feel safer betting that because you're like, this is a defensive game, only maybe 1 point. I'm gonna take the unders on this one.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
Hey, the Tampa Bay game looks high scoring. You bet the over.
Well,
That's how you do. I mean, what do you do, bud?
so just look at it, and if I'm like, that looks high scoring,
Well, there
take
you
it.
go. Bet the over. Who gives a shit about -1.5 and this and that? Bet the over. That's
All
my
right,
answer.
on to the next question.
Okay.
Which contender is the biggest betting trap right now heading into the playoffs?
That could be anybody at any time. You know what?
Well, that's a scapegoat.
Dallas is 15-0 before they lost 2 in a row.
Mhm.
You know, so right there's your trap. Boom, just fell into it. 15-0. What can go wrong?
Well, you lose
You
2
know
in a
what
row.
went Wrong. You made a bet, and then they lost.
Right. So
You
whoever,
know what you do? You know what you do then? Well, double down.
right.
You know what they do? They lose 2 in a row.
Yeah. Boom.
There goes.
Then they're like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. And then they win.
then now you're confused.
Right.
Is this team worth a shit?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
you take your 15.
you
Hopefully
gotta
hopefully you won 15 in a row. and then it doesn't matter.
Chances are slim.
Okay. Well, so there is betting from the Stiegel.
There you go.
He's just got the G string down on. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of contagious. You're like,
We'll talk
whoa.
about that later on.
So, well, right now, what we're going to talk about.
Oh.
Listen, no, what we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about a little KC at home sports, and that is our Kansas City
Home game.
Mavericks, which is kick ass. They're still number one.
Mavericks are number one.
They're
One of my heart-
fucking killing it.
in the
We
city.
love the Mavs, and they've got what? How many games left? 3?
They're down to the nitty gritty. We got
No, we have 3 home games.
3 home games left.
Yeah, there's-
party buses.
Yep.
Can't wait.
So
Speaking of, I'm trying to get a third one.
right for you were gonna do that for industry night, right?
Yeah. Industry night. We're gonna.
Yeah, that'd be a good one if you can get that.
Mavericks are so fun to watch. If you haven't seen them, get out there. I've took you guys.
2 separate.
Yeah, two separate ones. One
Yeah.
March 28th, one April 11th is one of their last home games. But
Did you ever find out who the TikToker was that was able to get
I
you?
didn't.
And I would hire to get her. You need to get her hired.
And that's okay.
Let's get her hired to sell.
There's no.
Well, I mean, if she's selling a whole nother party bus.
The thing is, bud, the rest of them only had 20 views. So it was the party bus that did it. All you gotta do is bring your camera. That's TikTok is. Right? You know what? TikTok the game, TikTok the bar. That's all this girl did. She got 80,000 views. You guys TikTok.
That's it.
TikTok away.
Yeah.
Get on that bus. That's
So-
not this year. The bus is sold out.
But still,
Of course,
when you subscribe here, you can get the TikTok out.
surely by now you like the show, right?
Well, for sure. All right. Well, so Mavs, they're number one. They're doing great. We got 3 home games left.
Right.
We have a handful of other ones on the road.
They're on a roll.
We're still playing fine on the road.
Yeah. They're winning hockey games.
Right. How many games ahead, do you know, by
I
chance?
think they were like, well, they've already
Whatever.
sealed it.
I know that
They're
sealed it. The sealed.
It's sealed.
And so is there
We're
any,
number one seed.
so when you seal
Number
that,
one.
so what's the advantage of getting number one? So like, you know, in
Well,
football, you get home field.
well, you got the home field all throughout,
Right.
all the way through the.
So that means
to the
we get, so
championship.
that means we get to go to all the fucking,
Bad news.
Oh.
People does not know this.
Oh,
This is
bad
the
news.
bad news of ECHL. folks.
ECHL.
You don't get your tickets.
A lot of their arenas are rented out to
Oh.
proms.
No,
Are
where?
rented out to all throughout April. Yes.
Okay.
And so
For
what
prom?
happens-
Like high school prom?
Oh, yes.
High school proms are renting out arenas opposed to,
100%. This is what happens. There's a lot of money involved, I would guess. But anyway, so you might be the best team in the league, but your first 3 games are on the road
whoa, because of prom.
because of prom. Your buildings are in and out.
Oh my God.
That's I know it's sad, but that's what's going on. There's more.
Is
money.
prom
There's more
ruining
money. Hey, high school,
ICHL?
that's what our taxes go towards, guys. Yeah, figure it out.
Hey, to renting out arenas for prom. And what schools are going to that? I know Liberty's not going down to, so this is Independence?
Something for KCTV5 to maybe dig into.
KC TV5. Start digging because that sounds
Yes, that is
fucking
the
crazy.
truth. So home teams will play the first 3 games on the road and then play the last 4 at home.
Why would the cable Dahmer do that?
I mean, well, it's not just cable Dahmer. It's other places. It's money. It's a business.
Well,
Your building is a business. I know, I get it, but you know what? That's just how the world paying. You guys,
the taxpayers
Yeah,
are
that's right.
paying to rent out a fucking arena. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, so that's some great case. There's KC. That's the
Yeah.
political part of it. That's
Yeah,
great. Fuckers. So yeah, man, that made me lose my train of thought. That is
Yeah.
so nuts. I really did not think that would
Yes.
be the case because that would be one school. Because I mean, they're not having multiple schools come to one prom, right? I mean, there'd be gun shooting down there.
Yeah. You're right. There's multiple schools renting it out. That's why there's 3 games in a row. I think that the Mavs just did it maybe last year where
Where do they go play?
they go play whoever they're playing if they're home ice.
And what happens if they're?
Well, and now you got to win. You know, at least.
But what happens? What happens if that's they rented theirs out?
Well, what happened last year is we lost on the road, and then we came back home, and we had no room for error. And you lose 1, you lose 2, it's over.
Are they the home team on the road?
I don't know what their schedule is going to be this year. I don't know, but it's something to look at. It's something to look at.
Well, so would you say that let's compare right now Kansas City's hockey market
Yeah.
compared to Arizona's? So would you say that we're seeing ours a lot better
Compared
than
to Arizona.
yeah.
That's a good one. Well, Arizona doesn't have a team.
Minor league?
Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Do they? Am I getting fact checked right now?
Oh shit.
Oh,
All right,
no.
here.
You know what? Well, 100% we do. You know,
That's the
because
answer.
We got the
That's the answer.
best team in the freaking league.
That is the answer.
Are they born and raised in Kansas City? No. If that's
No.
Are
We're just the Viz
are we-
fans.
We're 100%. Where is Arizona in the standings? May I ask you?
I'm not sure.
Boom, boom. Before you answer the question.
Well,
figure
hey,
out.
no, I'm not a hockey guru.
Okay, well, when it comes to double A, you're You're good.
That's my setup question, right? Like, I don't know. Arizona might not even have a team, bro.
That's a huge what? Come on, man. That's what I was asking. All right.
So anyway,
Okay. So
we're establishing the answer is yes, because Kansas City
Kansas City is the
is
best team in the league.
strong sports, loyal fans. Well, kind of loyal fans. Depends. If we have very winning, loyal fans.
Show us a good plug.
Even have one.
Okay, there you go. That's what I said. What are you talking? That's why I laughed to begin with. I thought he was looking at something on his computer.
Anyway, so we have we have great hockey fans,
Oh,
and
100%.
we really need to get.
Yes.
Yeah, we love the Mavs. Anything that you want to touch base on about here in Kansas City? Has there been any G-stringing or anything like that?
At the bar, we had a lot of shit go down. Let's go, bud. At the bar, we
St. Patty's Day was
my
yesterday.
boys for 531 grand. We got it going on. So we got a new dance move. I was at the gym the other day, of course, working out and dancing because that's what I do. But when nobody's there,
Right? Yeah, you can see
nobody was there.
he
but-
did the scan.
But anyways, some boys from 531 grand. We love you. You know who you are. Show me a good dance move. I don't have the room to do it here, but I was at the gym. I had the room, making sure I was in the clear. This is called the turn and burn.
Turn and burn with the
And
G-string.
I go down. That's a great move. I look around, make sure nobody's looking, and see you later.
All right. So somehow,
Damn, I want to get up and do it again. I just don't have the room.
yeah.
But anyway, that was it. I actually did like 3 or 4 different dances, but this segment we're trying to cut it short.
Yeah.
So,
One
anyway, that's the
one
deal.
dance from Stiegel is probably enough per segment.
I just want to talk about this so that way we wrap this up. That's the new deal. It's going nationwide. Next week we might show some growth in it if that's what we want to talk about. I don't know. We'll see what's happening. But G-string, baby. That's what we want.
G-string, get down to the blue
That's
line.
it. Spread
Did
the
you have any tickets left for the party boxes?
Boxes are all sold out. They
Sold out, folks.
Sold out. If I get one, April 8th. It's on a Wednesday, guys. Get on that son of a bitch.
Yep. That's if you get one.
That's
Because-
I get one, and I need to make that call. You will know by the next episode. You'll
Given
follow us on Facebook, the Blue Line. I will post
and so we're talking about
Instagram as well.
getting a hold of James.
Getting a hold of James, our man,
Okay.
James. Thank you, James, as always.
Awesome.
All right,
Pleasure.
brother. I am my man.
Later. Todd, kick ass.
Thanks for tuning in to Steve and the Blue Line. Subscribe for more hockey talk.